Joining us by phone today is SATCOM On The Move Offering Strategist Marina Filla. Welcome to the program, Marina.
Thanks, Tal.
So, Marina, tell us a little bit about what SATCOM On The Move is and why it's necessary.
Okay. Well, the best comparison for our SATCOM On The Move system is to compare it to mobile devices or our smartphones. So, for example, you never leave home without your smartphone. And the reason why you don't do that is because it lets you always be reached. You can always be in contact with folks that you need to be in contact with, and it gives you that assurance that you need, particularly if you find yourself in an emergency situation. So you feel comfortable, you're not disconnected, there's no guessing, and you don't have any feelings of anxiety. So that's the feeling that we want to provide our users with our SATCOM On The Move solution. So there's no more guessing. They don't have any experiences with dead spots. They always have consistent voice communications, video, and data. And they have them in situations where the infrastructure is down as a result of a disaster or a wartime situation, or if they're in a challenging environment where infrastructure doesn't exist, and so they're always able to communicate.
So these solutions keep you connected no matter where you are?
Right, absolutely. So all you really need is a clear view of the sky that enables you to acquire a satellite, and then you have the communications between anywhere in the world, between a corporate headquarters or a command headquarters, and all the users. And the users can be in vehicles, they can be at the halt, or they can be on the water, and you're able to access the internet and send any type of communication.
Wow, that's great. So we avoid the hassle or inconvenience or danger of being somewhere without a phone or radio reception. So when you're saying on the move, I'm guessing you mean that these systems are installed in vehicles.
Absolutely. They can be installed in any type of a vehicle, but we also have options that are more portable. For example, the whole system will fit in a backpack. It can be carried anywhere. You can put it in an overhead compartment in a plane, and then you set it up for stationary use, for example, at the halt. And in addition, the same system can be used in ships and small boats, anywhere where it's required to communicate very quickly and in any location.
Now, I would imagine that for something like this, the install would be quite a hassle.
No, not at all. The actual system can be installed on any type of a platform in less than 2 hours. It takes about 30 minutes to train someone, and then you can put it in any vehicle, large or small, like a tank, an MRAP. You could put it on SUVs and Land Rovers, and what's really important is that you don't have to actually change the vehicle itself. The system goes on the vehicle, no modifications are required. A good thing to remember, too, is that all of the components are COTS. They have an open architecture concept, so the parts, depending on the mission, the parts can be swapped out real easy.
Now, I didn't expect that. I thought we were talking about a long, complicated process.
No, absolutely not. We focused a lot of attention on the speed of installation and how easy it would be to install. We want to make sure that the users, lots of them are very young people who may not have a lot of experience in the system, so we want to make it as easy as possible for them to install. A couple of other things that are really important about the system, too, is because there's so much commonality, that does reduce the overall cost of the system and also reduces any of the training time. And no matter what the customer requires, we can tailor our system. So depending on the mission, depending on what the customer wants to do, whether it's disaster relief, whether it's fighting wildfires, whatever it is, we can tailor our system so they meet their requirements. and it's a pretty small system where it's the smallest size, weight, power cooling in the market, and we're also looking at ways to even make it smaller. For example, we're increasing our processing capabilities, and we're using virtual servers, and that'll eliminate a lot of the hardware that we currently have in the system. So we're trying to take advantage of new technologies to make it smaller and quicker.
Okay, just let's go back for a second. Earlier you mentioned smartphones to help us understand the necessity of SATCOM on the move technology. I also heard you say voice, video, and data. So solutions like Nomad provide all of that?
Absolutely. We know that our customers want a system where they can improve their own situational awareness. We want to be able to give the users real-time information so that they can make those important decisions. They need to act fast, and we want to make sure that the communications, many times the communications are going to protect lives. A lot of times our users are in harm's way. They're in difficult environments. So we want to be able to make sure that our solutions give immediate information, immediate voice, video, and data, and at really good speed. You want to be able to move the data as quickly as possible. So, for example, we can provide data and communications at 1 megabits per second uplink and 2 megabits per second downlink.
All right, now I want one. It would be great to be able to drive down the highway, make calls, or be on the internet when there aren't any cell towers around. But I would imagine that these solutions are designed more for the military or, say, remote commercial operations?
Pretty much, that's correct. There's a lot of benefit too if you use our solutions for first responders and disaster relief scenarios. There's a lot of uses for this system.
Okay, to help me understand some typical applications, can you give us a few real-world examples of intended use? Some sort of concept of operations?
Sure. Like I said, there's lots of uses. So a lot of our military users will use this in a battlefield environment to improve their situational awareness, transmit data real quickly. Disaster relief, you use it so that's real important if infrastructures are down due to climate or whatever the situation is. It can be used for mining, oil and gas exploration, protection from wildfires, particularly now with what's happening in California. Having a system such as ours would be very helpful. You could use it for reach back if there's a medical emergency, and any type of an austere location where you really need to communicate quickly. Those are some of the areas where our system would be really beneficial.
I can definitely see how those types of situations are prime candidates for an Exelis SATCOM on the move solution. Well, again, Marina, I want to thank you for calling in today to help us understand the important role that Exelis SATCOM on the move solutions play in so many different scenarios. To learn more about these solutions, please visit www.exelisinc.com/SOTM. Marina, thanks again, and take care.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot, Tal.